trophy that lasted through the kart community and now is back here in Pomona, California. Hi, everybody. Randy Kerdoon along with Hot Rod Bob Beck, and we're here for another edition of the Grand National Roadster Show here with what else? Take a look at some of the rides over here, and again, some behind us here. Look at some of these beauties. These are incredible cars. All sorts of really neat stuff here. And Bob, this has been going on, as I mentioned, since the Oakland days.
That's right, and this show is amazing. It's called the Grand National because it is the grandest show in the country. It has what's called the AMBR, or the America's Most Beautiful Roadster section, and that's where we're standing right now with some of the most beautiful roadsters ever produced.
Let's walk over here and take a look at some of the other ones here. We'll get a chance to show you some of them. This, of course, will be one of our episodes as we have several people we've run into. We're going to have some opportunities to show you some really cool cars. Here, take a look at this. This is really neat. And of course over here, this is it's a car built by a restoration shop in Kansas, and they're of course going for the opportunity to have one of those big awards. Let's walk over here. And just, because you see us, we're walking. We're walking, I tell you. More cars over here, and people we've happened to run into that we've had an opportunity to see. So again, let's go now to who have we talked to? Maybe some people you've recognized or you can recognize. Let's jump to one of the folks and show you the interviews we've done since we've been here in Pomona.
What? Joining us, a familiar face right
Yes.
now on the program. You remember her from so many shows.
Oh, yeah.
And we here at
He
the
doesn't
event.
even remember what they are.
No.
Well, do I have to rattle them off?
I'm kidding.
All girls garage, that thing with the garage thing, you know.
That thing with the garage thing, yeah. You'll remember that,
Yeah,
don't you?
Heather used to be on
From
it.
that show, Garage Squad.
Garage Squad, of course, I knew that.
Sure.
Of course, I knew that. So it's great to have Bogi joining us, Lateiner joining us on the program. You know, it's always fun. We watched you guys do a little talk event here at the Grand National Roadster Show. I was right there. I was right there. And
Where are we?
He just brushed his teeth. He can't do anything with them.
not only did they call you a hero,
Yes.
the look on your face was
I know. I
classic.
was like,
She did a speech. Well, a speech. She did a conversation about how she, got into the business. And suddenly you were a hero. I feel like singing, but I won't.
Please. Thank you. No, he did it anyway.
No, I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't sing the lyrics at least. Come on.
Well, it's because you forgot the words.
Well, yeah, that's true
it has
too.
hero in there somewhere.
Yeah, well,
Here-
he can't even remember what he had for breakfast.
That's fair. Neither can I.
A hero
Wait, I didn't eat
sandwich.
breakfast.
See, that's why you can't remember.
That's why I can't remember.
You've got an excuse.
I forgot to eat.
That's what it was. Okay.
You didn't eat? Here, let's see if we can get somebody. No, we don't.
No, we
Don't have anybody here.
I drove from Phoenix overnight to get here.
Wow.
In time for this.
You're still in Phoenix, huh?
I am still in. Well, right
Okay.
now I'm not in Phoenix, but
No,
I
not
live
now.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still have your own shop? I know you don't have the one you had before.
Yeah. So I sold 180 Auto, which was my general repair shop. And now I have Girl Gang Garage, which is the shop where we do the crazy builds. We do the all female projects. And I teach car care classes. And it's just a place for women to come together and work on stuff. And it's evolving over the years. We do have a build coming up. It's a little bit of a more low key build than the ones we've done in the past, but yeah, it's just it's a garage, but it's not an open to the public garage. It's just open to like women volunteers coming and hanging out. And then I do some like, I'm doing some like do it with me repairs, right? So there's like people who want to do it themselves.
Right.
And then there's people who want to like do it for me. And then there's the people who want to do it themselves, but don't feel confident enough because they don't know enough. So they do it with me. And we do, and so like I'll teach somebody how to do their brakes, and they do their brakes themselves, but they have somebody to hold their hand. So that's been a lot of fun.
Bob, do you want to once
driving
again
down to
reiterate
Phoenix.
what she just said in order?
Not the way she said it. No, I can't do that.
Okay.
Do it yourself. Do it for me. Do it with me.
I
There
think a
we go.
poster needs to be
Okay.
made.
I
just
can see
saying,
that now. Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of. I think there's something there.
Yeah, so we're doing Do It With Me repairs.
Okay,
That's
well,
it.
that's
Yeah.
very good.
Oh, I love the way your sense of humor goes.
So highlight of your little talk today, I thought the part that stuck with me is something about how you almost set somebody on fire.
Oh, I didn't. No, somebody was consoling me because I was talking about all like the horrible things that happened on the build because I felt like on the first build because I
The
felt,
57 Chevy with the
so back it was
BMW engine.
2017 that we did this. It was my first real build, and we had 90 women from all over the country came together to do this thing, and you know, it was my first time doing a real like resto mod, a restoration. It was first time welding, first time doing body work, first time leading a group of women. Oh my God, turn your phone off. So rude. I'm kidding. It's all good. So it was my first time doing all of that, and I was leading this group of women and doing this build, and there were so many things that I felt like I had failed. I felt like everybody's giving us all this praise, and I felt like this fraud where I was like, oh my gosh, but like everybody thinks it's so pretty, and it is so pretty, but I knew about all the problems, I knew about all the mistakes, I knew about all the things that were hidden under the paint, and then we were in a group of builders, and they were expressing congratulations to me and how great it looked, and I was like, oh gosh, you have no idea, it's so bad, there were so many problems. And then everybody started exchanging their stories about all of the horrible things that happened during builds, and, you know, messed up this and broke that and had to redo the whole side of a car, and like all of these things that had happened. And like, oh my gosh, like we set somebody on fire. It was like, I don't even remember who it was who said that. It was somebody who had been on the overhauling scene. It wasn't an overhauling show, but like, it just was that thing that was like, oh, this is normal, right? But we never talk about our mistakes, right? That's not something we talk about in this scene. And so I think it leaves people often to really feel like inadequate because they see their own mistakes and they see everybody else's perfection, when in reality, there's no such thing as perfection. And even the best builders in the world can show you all of the mistakes on the cars that they built. And that's what drives us to keep being better, right? We know the mistakes and we want to not do that next time, but we'll make different mistakes next time.
You know, and you can find experts at any, Cars and Coffee. They're walking by looking at your car. Yeah, well, I wouldn't do that, and I could do that.
Totally. Show me your car.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
if you're watching this right now and thought to yourself, you know, I was once set on fire at a car build. Call us here at our station. Actually, I'm not going to email us at talkingaboutcars@gmail.com, and we'll have some attorney ignore your call. Okay, there you go.
We'll provide the marshmallows.
Yeah, exactly. And just let us know, and we'll just, next time she comes on and joins us, Bogi, we'll have all sorts of fun with that.
We will, definitely.
Yeah.
As we are today. And, you know, we were talking before we got on the air here, and we first met at the Discovery Channel show in Los Angeles. And the conversation pretty much went the same way, and we were all laughing and having fun, which is what this is all about. And we want to do that. And we've all got great information to bring to light. You are well known for your car builds, even though you got that situation. You've got an illustrious automotive career. You were a certified BMW technician.
Yes.
And that is a difficult thing to do in general, but you did it. And you showed the world that women can compete head to head with the guys on equal footing.
Yeah.
And that's great. And you had a great shot.
That. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a lot of what's driven me. You know, I faced so much resistance to me doing what I wanted to do when I was younger and pursuing this path. And unfortunately, like a lot of women still do, right? I feel like we are changing, but we have not changed. And we've made a lot of progress, but I still speak to so many young women who are experiencing the same things that I did 25 years ago. And it breaks my heart. But that is so much of what drove me. Was it was so hard for me that if I can use that towards good, then it was worth something, right? Then those challenges are worth something. And in all honesty, like we said, we haven't seen each other in a while. I've been gone for a little bit. Like I got a little beaten down. Like I felt a little defeated because I felt like I was still hearing the same stories, and it got to a point where I was a little overwhelmed and kind of burnt out and feeling like nothing's going to change. And I was really disheartened, and it really like slowed me down a little bit. And I had to like take a step back and chill out and now like refind my passion.
Well, this
Like,
TV
yeah.
stuff. I mean, you guys used to be all over the TV, and Chip Foose as well, and so many other people who are still going through that dying rotation, if you will, on what used to be
The
Motor Trend.
reruns.
The rerun
that's it.
syndrome. You're always showing up in reruns somewhere at some
Yeah,
time.
if only we got paid for those reruns.
Okay,
Right.
that brings up an interesting question.
Okay.
Bob and I were actually kicking this around. It's like, you guys are certainly well known for being on TV, but you're not necessarily, that's not how you made your money. People in your situation, man, you must be making the big bucks and doing all this stuff.
People assume, oh, you're on TV, you're rolling in money.
Right.
Nope.
Right. So, in other words, and you sort of answered it, but I'll ask the question anyway, is the fact that you were on TV is not a situation where that's where you made your money from, most of your money.
And I don't want to scoff at it either. It definitely created some opportunities for me. Was it mountains of money? No. Was it enough money by itself? No, not really. It was, they paid us well, but not like the way that people think that we get paid for TV. I did other things as well. You have to do other things as well. And so, yeah, I'm still grateful for it. I think there were opportunities that I was able to have that I would not have had otherwise, or I would have had to fight that much harder for them. Just in the nature of even just meeting people, right? Like, because of the TV show, I was put in a room with people that I might not have been put in a room with otherwise. And I got to have conversations and create connections. And so it was a door opener in a lot of ways. So I definitely don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth.
And this isn't a situation where a woman is in that situation and they didn't get paid because of whatever. Guys, everybody, anybody I've ever talked to that was in that universe, that spun in that universe, is basically living what she went through.
Now, it is a testament because it's a microcosm of like the world as a whole, right? Like the automotive industry, even though like the automotive industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, the aftermarket is huge, and yet it's treated like less than in a lot of ways. When it comes to TV, it's the same way. If I was a carpenter and I worked on a home and garden TV show, then I'd be making a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah.
They get paid so much better.
So
much better. Not necessarily carpenters, but home and garden TV shows.
But it's a broader audience.
It's a broader audience.
And that's what it's based on numbers.
But that's the thing. I don't actually think it is a broader audience. Everybody has a car.
That's true.
I think some of the TV networks and some of the TV shows get stuck in this idea of who the demographic is for automotive. And you'll notice that they don't think that demographic is housewives. And yet every housewife that I've ever spoken to says, I wish I knew more about my car.
Okay.
And they love the fact that I teach car care classes, and they would love to learn from somebody. And if we opened up and created opportunities where learning about cars could be fun and interesting and not intimidating, right? All of the shows tended to be very like obtuse and big. And if you didn't know what you were talking about, you'd be intimidated by it. The industry can be very intimidating if you don't know.
Right.
And so if we broadened our perspective of who our audience is, everybody has a car. Everybody knows somebody who has a car. Everybody's broken down in a car.
Why? Everybody has a car story.
Thank you for rigging. Coming right to our logo. Yeah.
Right to our slogan.
I didn't even do that on purpose.
I know.
You're welcome.
I know. Now I have to pay her. Okay,
Yeah, you gotta get it. Where's that residual check? Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
But it's true. Like automotive is just as large an audience.
Well,
it's just we have this narrow idea of who the automotive enthusiast is, and we limit ourselves in that regard.
It's not only the enthusiast though; it's the people that working a living. They are second class.
Absolutely.
In a lot of people's minds.
Absolutely, which is ridiculous.
You work as a mechanic, huh? Oh, you're just you're a grease monkey. You're a mechanic.
Absolutely. It's because people have no idea, and we don't do, as industry people, we don't do a great job of educating the average consumer on the fact that they are driving a little rocket ship. They're driving a computer on wheels, and the people who work on them, hot rods are a whole beast into themselves, but modern cars, you're driving a car that literally can drive itself most of the time these days. It has more control modules than the first space shuttle. Like legitimately, the people working on your cars have to be really smart, and they have to stay up on education, and they got to go to school, and they got to learn, and they got to do, and they got to master their craft. And yet they go out in the world and they're treated like, oh, you're a mechanic.
Yeah, and people look down and say, well, you're just a technic. You're just a mechanic. You're just working on my car. Why am I paying you so much?
Right.
Well, okay, fix it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
You don't even know where
because they remember what it
is.
used to cost back in the. I would have customers like, bless their hearts, right? I'd have these like little old men who would come in and they have like a 2000s car and they're like, why are my spark plugs so expensive? It was only $150 on my 1980 blah 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 blah. I'm like, because this isn't a 1980 blah blah blah.
Yeah,
like,
the spark plug's now $10, not $1.
I have to take your intake manifold off, and you have 8 of them, and they're $30 a piece.
Yeah. And you gotta blame the manufacturers for some of this. I mean, it's like
it's not just the manufacturers; it's the push of technology.
Well, but how they're pushing it. It's Cadillac putting the starter motor underneath the intake manifold.
They've run out of places to put things.
Yeah, but it's why do you put them where they can't be serviced? And
because
also,
they build the car around it.
the thing. Yeah, well, okay. I come from a manufacturing background.
Okay.
I was working for one of those companies, letter company. I won't say General Motors, but we looked at the brand new truck when it came out, and this was medium duty, not the pickup trucks. And we go, where's the engine? All the wiring and everything else was above the top of the engine. You couldn't get to the engine. So we went and rented a Freightliner, brought it over and said, same technology, guys, same computer systems. Mm-hmm. Look, there's the engine.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you train your engineers as to what the focus should be.
So then we land on the other thing is that not only are mechanics, technicians, whatever, considered kind of second-class citizens amongst society as a whole, even within the automotive industry, right? Because nobody is coming around to the techs and saying, what would make this easier to work on? They're thinking about it from cost savings. They're thinking about it from longevity. They're thinking about it from, all of the things, but they are not thinking of it from a perspective of the technicians who make them dealerships most of their money.
How do you service the vehicle if you can't get to the part?
They just charge more.
Don't care. That's true.
Back up the Brinks truck and
here we go.
Bring out a shovel.
The engineer designed it to build, to work, not necessarily
and we can't even be
on
mad at the engineers necessarily because they're doing what they were told to do. It's just there's this disconnect, right? Yeah. And not thinking about the mechanics as the end users.
The end user, really.
Okay.
Or servicers.
So let's move on to.
Sorry, we went down a rabbit hole there.
I was going to say, by the way, for those of you who think we know where we're going when we have our guests on, by now you should know better. So
I thought I was here to talk about puppies.
How about that puppy?
How about that puppy? Hey, hello. Check, please. So you're here at this event.
Yes.
You don't have a car here, do you?
I do not. I mean, I drove a car here, but it is not anything that anybody wants to look at.
We won't ask her, ladies and gentlemen. But
you built 2 cars that we know of.
So what?
I built
the truck and the Volvo that we're aware of.
I've done 3 custom builds.
Okay.
And then we did an all-female build of get this, that's really exciting. A Honda Odyssey.
Oh.
That was actually a really cool
Honda
project.
liked it, I bet you.
Well, we didn't do it with Honda. This was actually a really cool story. So like most of the custom builds that we've done, we took cars that were destined for the junkyard and gave them a life as a show car. This time we took a car that was actually in a junkyard and we gave it a new life of service, and we rebuilt this Honda Odyssey to be like new condition and then donated it to a local women's shelter.
That is so nice, actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
very nice.
So it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
A lot of fun.
All right. A lot of people may not be familiar with the ones. We've talked about the 2 vehicles that we're aware of. That was the Volvo and the
So Chevy Montage was the first. Right. That was the teal 57 Chevy pickup with the BMW M5 engine in it. Not practical at all, but really freaking cool nonetheless.
True.
Why not practical?
I mean,
a BMW engine.
We did it for the push and for the challenge of it, for the can we do this? And because I'm a BMW girl, and if I was going to do a domestic vehicle, I had to put a BMW engine in it.
That's true.
But it's not like there's no support for it. We had to customize. It's not a practical. There's a reason why everybody says LS it, because there's support for it.
Right.
I just like the challenge of doing something ridiculous. So there was that one, and then we did a little bit of a more traditional 56 Chevy pickup, and then. That was the yellow and white one. Do you remember that one? And then we did Iron Maven, which was the 1964 Volvo PV544. If you've never seen what they look like, go look them up. It didn't end up looking like that at all. And then so we took that, and then we took a 2019 Volvo S60 hybrid, and we mated them together so that the 64 had all of the technology of the new car. I mean, I'm talking ridiculous feat of engineering. We did ridiculous stuff to this car. And she now lives in Sweden. She lives in the Volvo, World of Volvo's museum.
Yeah. Are we straightened out here?
And then we did the Honda. And now we've got a new car coming in.
So
Bronco.
what's coming up next for you?
Isn't that what she just said?
So what's next is the Bronco.
Bronco.
See, I told you she didn't mention
Now we've got a Bronco. It's a O.J. Simpson era Bronco, so not like one of the real old cool ones. But like that era is kind of like making.
Is it like all white?
Yeah,
it is in primer at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So we don't know yet what color it's going to be, and it's not. This is not like a massive scale all female, but this is not going to be like a crazy custom whatnot. It's a little bit of a feel good story. It was a woman who works for a partner of mine. She had bought it with her dad, and they were doing it as a daddy-daughter kind of build together. And then unfortunately he passed, and she wasn't sure what to do. And so my contact, the partner, was like, don't sell it, call Bogi, which just like melted my heart. And so now it's coming to the shop, and she's going to work on it with me and some of the other ladies. And
in time for
we're gonna maybe we'll see. No promises. We'll see. It's really more about the point of it. Like, we're not doing it for any other reason than to like help her out and
be a nice goal.
And can create some great opportunities for more learning and camaraderie as we at Girl Gang.
That works.
Do you miss at all the TV thing where you guys were under the gun to get certain things done and do it a certain way instead of
our show wasn't really set up like that. Like, we weren't the show that was like, we're gonna lose the shop, right? It wasn't that. It wasn't the drama. It wasn't the crazy. We knew what we were doing, and the projects that we were doing took the amount of time that we needed to do them for the most part. So there wasn't that same kind of stress. I didn't have to deal with that sort of thing. Garage Squad a little bit, but it was so much fun. Like, we had so much fun on those builds. I do miss it, and I don't miss it at the same time.
Right.
You were doing a lot of travel with that too.
I was doing a ton of travel. I spent probably 60 to 70% of my year on the road and not at home. I've taken a real step back. Like, people keep saying, like, we haven't seen you on social media in like 2 years. And I really did. I took this huge step back to slow down and figure out like what I like when I'm not working. Because I had no idea, because everything, I was so career driven my whole life. I was so focused on this and the show and my shop and my mission, right? And that I forgot how to human, like, just outside of work. So I've really taken a step back to really heal and recover from the burnout that I kind of had gotten.
You can have a dog now.
I could. I can't actually. My cats would not tolerate that.
Well, you already have cats, so I guess I completely understand that.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so it's an interesting thing. Iron Maven was the coolest, most awesome thing I've ever done. The most challenging thing I've ever done. And it was wonderful, and it was amazing, and I met so many incredible women, and we had such a wonderful time, but it also really, really burnt me out. And it really I was really drained by the time it was done. And she got hurt.
Oh no.
She got hurt twice. We had to put her back together again. And so by the time it was done, I was like, I don't
want to see this anymore.
Yeah. I was so broken, and I was a shell of a human being. I was like literally broken on the inside. So I've been recovering for these last 2 years. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. So don't plan on seeing her anywhere in time except for reruns. Is what's the basic premise of what she said.
No, but I'm starting to come. I'm here because I'm coming back. I'm starting to feel healthy again. I'm starting to feel a little bit more whole. And
Bogi Lateiner, why she's one of our favorite episode person guests of all time, and the reason I actually have one of your stickers on my 57 Safari. It's on the window. It is on the window with all the other stuff. So
I thought I was like special and was all alone.
You are in the one segment of
all of the rest
window.
of them.
We'll have to show her while we're off air.
All right, we're at the Grand National Roadster Show here in Pomona, California with Stanley Chavik. And Stanley, you have had this car under construction for almost as long as I've known you. And you've taken it to...
I came in the United States.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you've got it done. You road tested it at El Mirage 100 miles an hour in third gear.
Hour in third gear, pretty easy. But came a huge storm. We did beautiful pictures, but we ran from there. That's true. Okay. It was last August 24th.
All right, tell us a little bit about the technical aspect. I mean, I can see the Ardent cylinder head,
Yes.
which is extremely rare to start with.
This is actually Arden heads from Don Ferguson Engineering, and that's how I actually started a relationship with Don. We are good friends, and he helped me build this motor, which I actually a little bit modified some stuff too. I have their mechanical fan with my own special tensioner. It's very difficult to put on flathead blower with mechanical fan, and I hate electric fans. That's what is different on these Arden heads and flathead. It's a 49 flathead with 3 mains. Doesn't have seal, it's just a rope. Probably will be start a little bit dropping oil. That's totally normal. And has almost 400 horsepower. We was dying it in a Don's shop. Sun's bitching, you know. It's pretty cool. And has blower about 4 pounds. It's mostly show car, but still I can spin wheels how long I want. I can shift it. Second gear still spinning. Third gear still spinning. Fourth gear and full throttle I never had yet. Yeah, because this will be probably over 100 miles per hour. That's for sure.
All right, so we're looking at the car, and it's done in a more traditional manner, but there are a lot of things on this car that are extremely unique, like the steering.
No, you know what is, for example, very unique? It's a whole suspension. Because I love all the racing. SCCA, SCTA, Indy 500, I love it. I have Indy car. And I also like the drag racing, but mostly I like turning and go fast in the turns and stuff like that. And I built whole car like that. And I used original lobster brakes on the front, Hillebrand rotors, which I recreate. A few parts I recreate too, but let's go say 75% on brakes. It's original Hillebrand Indy 48, 49 brakes. Very difficult to make functional for traffic, for regular streets. Works great, yeah. I have original wheels on the back. I cut billet fronts because I'm looking for 4.5-inch 16s, which the Indy car when raced, they like a first when they crashed, because the parts what I got, it's from crashed Indy cars. Because the good one they stay in Nebraska, yeah, and or Peterson Museum, and people has also something home. But I won't say it's very difficult to find parts like that. And I have original parts from, let's go say from 30s till late 40s, early 50s.
All right, and you are a master craftsman. I've seen your work, your sheet metal work. You recreated a fender for mixed paint a few years ago. The car went on to win Pebble Beach.
Yes.
So you are not only a hot rodder, but you're a master craftsman of all types of vehicles.
Basically, I came from Czech Republic where I had a restoration shop. I had 7 employees, and I tried to be like in the United States, the show, have shop like that. And we've been very good shop, which people bringing from Germany, France, and from our Czech Republic cars for restoration. I did original Auburn. There was some Porsche work. You know, I'm restorating. That's what I am. I'm a restorator, and I love old stuff. I like old cars. This car have 7 wires, mechanically control cutouts. It's not electric cutouts. Yeah, it's a mechanically with cables. I designed the whole thing and make the butterflies to opening and leverage, which I machine it on my mill. Yeah, I made everything. I love to enjoy the mechanical thing. Engineering, like the steering, Schroeder. Gary Schroeder tell me, you got it, but you have to figure out some Adler, because you need line up everything nice for good leverage and for good power, because it's a 128 and it's very difficult for bump stairs. This steering set up like that, amazing. I don't have any trouble when I was 100 miles with it, you know. And it true is the surface in the Mirage it's gorgeous. It's freeway, it's ridiculous, but yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, looking at the car, unlike a lot of the cars here that are using modern components and look modern in design, your car looks like it just came out of the early 1940s, 1950s. when the guys came back from World War II and started building hot rods to run at El Mirage or Indy, your car's got the best of all of that.
I will tell you one thing. I'm using also the modern components, but actually technically which was involved in 40s, which they still make them. Like let's go say AN fittings. Yeah, it's Army Navy fittings, which was in Second World War, and before was SAE fittings. It's a thing which actually was in airplanes and stuff like that in the 40s, and I have it there. Some real traditional guys which they like the hose clamps on radiators. You know, yeah, this is a little bit like a high level, old school thing, and I try do it the best what I could. And I will say there is few modern things which are billet pistons, okay, 4130 connecting rods. I have a winter rear end, the new one, but I change it to be old school, yeah. But it's a modern thing with seals. I have Borg Warner 5-speed because I won't drive it freeways. This car will be on the road pretty soon. Next week I plan to go to the Nate Jones on Signal Hills. Over 50 years balancing wheels, shaping the tires, and.
All right. Well, the other thing we're going to talk about is now. Initially, when this car started to be built, yes, it was going to be for your wife Daisy. However, things have changed, haven't they?
Guys, happy life. If you have a happy wife.
But it's not her car now.
It is still her.
Oh, it's still her. She owns everything, but she's not going to drive it.
I have to break in.
Oh yeah, of course.
Not ready for her.
Yeah, not ready. No.
Not ready.
Yeah. Okay.
She will drive it.
She will drive it.
I made special seats which you can easily adjust it. She can reach the pedals.
Yeah, because she's a lot shorter than you, petite.
Yeah. No, she will be okay. She will be okay. Yeah, she's short. Yeah, that's true.
Short,
Yeah.
And that is Craig Korthase of the Dr. George big event in the annual event in Palm Desert and Palm Springs. Because, of course, show him your hat. Show him your hat. Just lean forward. He's got a Seattle Seahawks hat. Of course, it's the big game in town where I now live. And I figured at least he was nice enough to bring it. So I figured, okay, that'll work out good. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on with the big upcoming event and tell me what kind of turnout do you expect this year?
Well, we expect a full house. We'll have over 1,000 cars on the grass at the beautiful Indian Wells Tennis Garden on Valentine's Day, February 14th. And the show goes from 9 o'clock until about 3 o'clock. We have everything from kids' project cars to multi-million-dollar cars on the field. There's something there for everybody. We have vendors, we have food, we have dealers there that have clubs that follow their particular brand. It's going to be a great time. And we have great weather.
Now, we're also going to have what I enjoy, and Joe Coddington, who maybe you may know, heard the name, we're going to be working with the kids on the pedal car race. This is an actual race where the kids get to race their pedal cars. And Joe Coddington, Karen Savaggio, and myself will be kind of spearheading that. And that's an interesting one because you get a lot of local vendors to sponsor the pedal cars.
We have 15 cars that are pedal cars that have been taken by sponsors and gone out and painted, because a lot of them have gone to local paint shops. And I've seen some of the cars come back with the grills. They're all 55 Chevy models, and the grills airbrushed in and taillights and everything. And it's amazing. And to see these little kids out there going as fast as they can up the hill on this racetrack, and hearing Bob call the races, and Karen and Joe doing a great job of herding these kids around to get them at the right place at the right time. Mm-hmm. And we just have a ball with that. That's a great crowd pleaser.
It is. It's a lot of fun. And if you've ever been to that before, it's just watching the kids race each other. And sometimes they have kids pushing the other kids and all sorts of things, right, Bob?
Yeah, some of them need the push to start. So they have their pushers behind it, and they get them going, and they race to the finish line. It's about a 25-yard run, and whoever gets there first takes the win, but then we bring back the winners for a final round to see who's the overall winner. And that's the best part for the kids because they're seeing the competition. It gets them involved in cars. And that's one of the things that I keep pushing. The younger you get them involved, the less money they're going to have for drugs. Spending them on cars.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So we've been doing that, and I've been lucky enough to be involved with your show for the last 15 years, the Dr. George Show, Dr. George Sebastian George.
Yes.
And no, he was not the weatherman.
Yeah, he was not, had nothing to do with George Fishbeck, by the way. But I hate to say it, but that's the first person I thought of because growing up in LA and going through that, George was there for years, the weather guy. But let me officially say, as Bob just did, he has nothing to do with this, although I think he would have appreciated it.
He does.